Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All good? Final day drama is upon us at Jack Edwards. Round 26, Oakleigh Cannons versus Hume City, with huge finals implications at play. 7 simultaneous kickoffs around NPL Victoria this afternoon. And both of these sides sitting in 3rd and 4th respectively could finish as high as 2nd or as low as 5th. With a home elimination final and maybe even a week off to the semi-finals on offer, depending on the result of Avondale versus Port Melbourne. We've got Heidelberg versus Dandy City taking place concurrently at Olympic Village, so we'll be keeping close eye on the score in that one. But for Chris Taylor's side, a couple of big guns back in the starting 11. Joe Guest and Emlyn Wellsmore return from the side that defeated Moreland City 2-0 last week. Max Basetto and Asad Kasumovic dropped to the bench. Brendan White continues between the sticks with no Nick Feely in the matchday squad. Brodie Boyce, Jordan Hall, Jacob Tratt and Connor Hampson make up the back 4. Noah Holmes and Cam McGill hold down the midfield. No sign of Ollie Kubalay in the squad. No Kingsley Sinclair either. We've got Stefan Valentini and Alex Salmon in attack, supported by Guest and Wellsmore. On the bench for Oakleigh alongside Basetto and Kasumovic, George Bitsios is the backup goalkeeper. Jacob Eliopoulos recently returning from injury. Manib Adis and Pierce Waring. And for David Chick's side, just 2 changes after winning 2-0 against Altona Magic last week. Fletcher McFarlane is out with a minor hamstring complaint. Mikael Platt drops to the bench. Back in comes Tom Marichich, who's been managing his own injury struggles. He partners Harry Ashcroft at the heart of defence, with Michael Weir between the sticks, Mark Otcheng and Lockie Weir as the fullbacks. Josh O'Kane and Oscar Carlson continue in midfield. Amir Abdallah, Josh Golevsky and the returning Lloyd Isgrove behind Josh Bingham, the captain, up top. Well, about to get underway here. My name's Josh Parrish. It's a delight to have your company, whether you're putting this on the big telly or multi-screening today with all the simultaneous kickoffs. Strap in for this one. Hume City in the white, kicking from left to right. Oakleigh Cannons in the all blue. Well, Hume City haven't won here in a while. Oakleigh have won their last 3 in a row against Hume and 4 of the last 5 meetings, so certainly the advantage is in Oakleigh's favour in terms of the head-to-head. But Hume City have been on a tear of late. Unbeaten in 7 league games since that 5-0 defeat to Avondale with 10 men in round 18. An early foul from Bingham on McGill. Pratt switches the point of attack. Leaves too much air underneath it. You may notice the building site in the background. That's the site of the new grandstand that is coming to the Oakleigh Cannons. In the meantime, we're here on the grandstand side, but the marshals over that way will have their work cut out fetching the balls, that's for sure. Abdallah. The idea was nice, but the back heel fell short. Wellsmore. In fact, there's been a late change to the Oakleigh team sheet, so maybe a clerical error, maybe an injury in the warm-up. But Asad Kasumovic has come into the starting lineup and Noah Holmes has dropped out. You can see Wellsmore is slotted into midfield there with Kasumovic on the left of the attack. Holmes was definitely down as starting on the team sheet, so that's one to keep an eye on. We'll see if he plays a part off the bench in the second half. Misplaced pass from Hall. Bingham can't quite find Abdallah. Jacob Tratt stepping in, and now Oakleigh can go the other way. Guest. On to Stefan Valentini. McGill. Bingham holding up the play. O'Kane. Ocheng. Isgrove exchanging passes with Weir. Very neatly done indeed. Isgrove cuts it back for Golevsky, and his effort is blocked. Best move of the match so far, Lloyd Isgrove, the architect. Brilliant return pass from Lockie Weir. Those two showing off their chemistry on the left flank. Well, this could be a long throw here. Up comes Tom Maricic. Harry Ascroft into the box as well. Weir gets good distance on it. Bingham tees it up and then deflects it into the arms of Brendan White. It's Harry Ascroft with the strike, I think. Has scored once this season. Incredibly, Tommy Maricic is yet to score despite his 200 centimetre frame, which is such a target off set pieces. Ocheng. Appeal for a foul throw. Lockie Keevers, the referee, waves it away. Maricic. Isgrove. Finding Abdallah. Golevsky steps around McGill. And weaves his way past Guest as well. Bingham sends it wide. Isgrove with the cross. Maybe a raised arm from Hampson. Gets another chance to tee it up at the back post. It will drop for the strike. And it's deflected wide. Oscar Carlson with the effort. After Lockie Weir swung and missed. Well, all 7 games have kicked off around the state. Still scoreless for the time being. Isgrove aims for the near post. Bingham's flick. And now Abdallah. Off the chest of Wellsmore. O'Kane couldn't win it. Weir could. Weir. Golevsky tries the acrobatic one. And it's a very tame effort in the end. But Hume City with all the forward momentum at the moment. Carlson. Gave McGill a good run at that one. Hume City throw. I'll take you through some of the permutations today. If either of these sides win, and Avondale fails to win against Port Melbourne, winner of this one will finish second. Ocheng was brought down late by Kasumovic, and the yellow card is already out. Late challenge from Asad Kasumovic when the ball was already gone, and Lockie Keevers stamping his authority on this one very early. Well, there's been a goal at Paisley Park. Manningham United already relegated mathematically from the league. Have opened the scoring against Altona Magic. It's the only goal so far this afternoon. Plenty more to come. Ascroft. High hanging ball. Boyce will shield it over the line for a goal kick. So if Avondale get the business done against Port Melbourne, the race is on for third place. A home elimination final against Dandenong City, whose destiny is already secured. If it's a draw today here at Jack Edwards and Heidelberg win by a goal, the table stays as it is. Oakleigh third, Hume fourth, behind only on goals scored, with the goal difference level between these two sides. We'll stay with play here as O'Kane wins the ball in midfield. Abdallah going for goal. And all the sting was taken out of the shot. Block from Hampson. Well, you know what Abdallah wants to do. He wants to cut inside onto his left foot, but not many teams have been able to stop him this season. 13 goals from the wing, which is an incredible return from a player who wasn't even established as a top-flight talent until this year. Maricic just overcooked that one for Bingham. So if Heidelberg only win by a solitary goal against Dandy City today, and there's a draw here, table stays as it is. If it's a draw and Heidelberg win by 2 or more goals, then the Burgers will leapfrog Oakleigh and Hume into third place. And in that eventuality, the elimination finals next week will be exactly the same fixture at the same venue as they are this week. Hampson's ball. Valentini. Hope you followed the permutations there. Some serious maths to get your heads around today. Kasimovic. Picked off by O'Kane. Guest. Went down in search of a free kick, which he will belatedly get. Mickey Keevers took his time over that one. Quickly taken by Hampson. Guest. Finding the feet of Salmon. Guest with the cross. Maricic. Uncontested header there. Unopposed in the box. Alex Salmon seen very little of the ball so far. We know how lethal he is. Now sitting, by my count, on 70 NPL goals in 110 appearances. They say a good striker scores a goal every 2 games. Well, he's managing far more than that. Hampson. Ochang charged down by Kasimovic. 14 league goals, 4 in the cup for Alex Salmon this year. Been a marvellous return so far for the Englishman. Headed down by Salmon. Wellsmore couldn't find a teammate. McGilp's challenge, and Oakleigh regained control of the football. Ochieng. Maricic under the cosh here. Ochieng. It's come off Salmon, I think. And will be a Hume ball. The referee came to the same conclusion as I did. Which is not always the case, of course. Hume gain a bit of ground here. It's been an arm wrestle so far, but Hume City have edged it. No clear-cut chances of note. Hampson getting a foot around Bingham there. You can see Gillespie playing more as the 9 today, and Josh Bingham sitting in that number 10 position a lot of the time, trying to win flick-ons and play in teammates. Carlson. It's been a position he's occupied to great effect, Josh Bingham, this year, alongside Mikael Platt most of the time. Gillespie preferred in that more advanced position today. Here comes Valentini. Chance for Oakleigh to spring in transition. Valentini for Guest into Salmon. And Hume City will clear their lines at the second time of asking or not. It's Wellsmore's shot. And well fielded by Michael Weir, looking into the sun. Well, the first clearance was whiffed. The second one was almost unforgivable from Harry Ashcroft, and he's the most relieved man at Jack Edwards' reserve at the moment. Tratt will wait for his keeper to come, and well, there was a bit of indecision between Brendan White and Jacob Tratt, who've rarely played together this season. Tratt ended up heading it back to his goalkeeper. I'm not sure that's where he intended the ball to go. A let-off for Oakleigh. Wellsmore. Guest. Right, it's overcooked for Hampson there, rather. Seemed a simple enough ball for a player of Joe Guest's quality. That's a frustrating turnover for the Cannons. Guest just shaking off the rust. He was out last week. He's been managing some injury issues. Was taken off after an hour in the Doherty Cup final. And rested against Moreland City, so trying to get as fresh a Joe Guest as they can manage for the final series, Oakleigh. McGill, around the outside. Maricic steps in with the header. Well, it's gone 1-0 at JL Murphy Reserve. Kerr with a penalty for Avondale, which will be unwelcome news for both these teams, who were hoping to leapfrog the Avengers into second spot today. If that result holds, Avondale are assured of a week off and a home semi-final. Still a long way to go, of course. Guest. Kasumovic. They turned away from Abdallah and then smashed a ball to the opposite side of the pitch, which was kept in ably by Steph Valentini. Salmon. Knocked the ball towards the danger area. Took a deflection and will settle for a corner. Melbourne Knights have taken the lead against Green Gully. Again, that game of little import with teams that can't make finals or are safe from relegation. And it could be a winning farewell for Ivan Franic. After his last home game against Dandenong Thunder, didn't go to plan whatsoever. Danny Dixon's screamer, denying him a fairy tale farewell after that storied Socceroos career. Tom Werndl scored for the Knights against Gully. Tratt's effort was blocked. Boyce got underneath it. O'Kane. Guest sliding in. Lucky keeper's calls for calm. Well, Oakleigh's players are safe from a suspension for a yellow card next week. Ollie Kubalay was on 9 yellows, but he's not playing today. I'm not sure if that's tactical to wait for the yellow card amnesty that kicks in next week, or whether he's got an injury complaint, because he did miss against Moreland City as well. But for Hume City, we've got 2 starters, Mark Otcheng and Lloyd Isgrove, sitting on 4 yellow cards, so they would miss next week if they're booked. Speaking of Isgrove, he turns on the afterburners to get past Boyce, but unable to find a teammate off the cross. So Isgrove and Otcheng, the players walking the tightrope. Otcheng has been a loyal servant of Hume City. Ashcroft. Little flick from Abdallah off the arm of Connor Hampson, who's remonstrating with the assistant referee. Chang over the free kick. Well, there's a player rising at the back stick. It was Tommy Maricic. And that would have been offside, I believe. Flag was up with the assistant on the near side, but Lockie Keever's playing advantage. So that one wouldn't have counted if Brendan White hadn't made the save. Wellsmore turns away from pressure. Feeds it out to Brodie Boyce this warm Melbourne afternoon. Weir. Oh, here goes Lloyd Isgrove. Disguises the reverse pass to Golevsky. Golevsky curls one, and Brendan White does just enough. Off the fingertips and behinds. Well, he's barely played all year, Brendan White. That was an important stop. Jinking run from Isgrove to open up the space. He shaped to shoot and then slid it to Golevsky. A brilliant bit of sleight of hand, but the ball just a little too close to Brendan White. Headed away at the near post by Kasumovic. O'Kane shots. Isgrove had a swing. Couldn't connect cleanly. Otcheng goes back to the goalkeeper. I'm telling you, it's now 2-1 to Altona Magic. They've come from behind at Paisley Park. McGill. Guest. Joe Guest with a bit of room to assess his options. He chooses Kasumovic. And the ball's across the face of goal. Nowhere near connecting with the run of Alex Salmon. Disappointing off the left boot of Kasumovic. Albeit he's non-preferred, but Alex Salmon was expecting better service. And Dandenong Thunder have taken the lead against Moreland City. Here goes Kasumovic. Referee waves for advantage. Valentini steps inside and unleashes the strike. But it's straight at Michael Weir. Little 1-2. Neatly worked between Bingham and Abdallah. Bingham with one option to aim for in Golevsky. It was a difficult ball. McGill. Otcheng tried to cushion that for Bingham, but misdirected. Hampson back to Tratt. Hall for Guest. Tratt into the feet of Valentini, and it wouldn't stick. Abdallah finds Bingham. Pass wrong-footed Golevsky, but that's a poor backward header from Boyce. And here goes Josh Golevsky with the goal in his sights. Shot cannons into Jordan Hall. Isgrove goes for goal straight at the keeper. Now Hampson gallops away in possession. A little dummy from Salmon. But Harry Ashcroft read it like an open book. And now there's an injury issue in the middle of the park, and I think Hume are going to play it into touch. Well, it looked like Cam McGill turned his ankle on the ball, trying to block the pass. And that's a worrying one. Hope he hasn't done any ligament damage. Noah Ollie Kubalay today. Noah Holmes curiously omitted from the starting lineup despite being listed on the team sheet. Oakleigh can ill afford another midfield injury. Holmes would be the obvious replacement if he is indeed available. Anything else would require a reshuffle. Looks like McGill will continue. Discussions ongoing between the Oakleigh coaching staff and physio. And Alex Salmon will return possession to Michael Weir. Players taking the opportunity to take on some fluids. It's a very warm winter day in Melbourne. Still scoreless between Heidelberg and Dandenong City at Olympic Village. Game with huge implications for the top six, as is this one. Given Heidelberg's imperious home record, I think both these teams would prefer to keep them away from Olympic Village in that elimination final. Eastgrove flicks it through. McGill sliding in. O'Kane comes out with the ball. Weir checks onto his right and misses everybody. Not sure if it was a cross or a shot. In the end, it was neither. So we've seen little in the way of end product so far this afternoon. Brendan White with the only save of note. Everything else has been straight to the keeper or off target. Josh Golevsky coming closest to opening the scoring with that curling effort from the edge of the box. He's been in good goal scoring nick. 5 for him in the league this season. Albeit outdone by the goal scoring exploits of Abdallah and Isgrove, 14 and 13 respectively. Have the most prolific wingers in the league, Hume City. Hall. Into the feet of Valentini. Lockie Weir coming in. A little over-eager on the challenge. McGill still running off that injury. Looks like Wellsmore's not 100% either. Oh, now Brendan White has to hustle here. Abdallah was pressing the clearance. Carlson comes down with the ball. Eastgrove. We are on the overlap, drives it in low, and Jordan Hall eats that up all day. Second chance for Hume City. Eastgrove, a little shimmy away from McGill. You can see his class and experience, the former Southampton man. One cap for the Welsh national team. Plenty of appearances in the Championship and League One, and even a game in the Premier League as well. Such pedigree for an NPL player, Lloyd Eastgrove. What a signing he's been. Such excitement and hype when he was announced, and I think it's fair to say he's lived up to it with the quantity of goals, but also the spectacular nature of many of them. Boyce. Guests thinking about the quick free kick. Just such clever use of the body there, Joe Guest. One in the wall for Hume City. Tratt and Hall coming forward for Oakleigh. Guest ball in, looking for Hampson, as he so often does. Curzon-Ashton connection, doesn't quite come off that time. Melbourne Knights have scored a second over at Green Gully Reserve. In swinger from Wellsmore. Tratt was the target. Bodies go flying in the box. Bingham winning the header away. Boyce. Early ball in from Boyce. See how hard it is for those players to track that ball in the air with the sun and the glare. It's Galevsky who did enough defensively. And Hall puts it into space for Valentini, asking a lot. And it's a goal kick, despite Valentini's best efforts. I think Hall thought there was a player out there that wasn't. Well, it's gone South Melbourne 1, St Albans 1 over at Lakeside. South Melbourne going down a goal. Brian Summerskill opening the scoring for Dynamo, who've been in red-hot form of late. South Melbourne equalising on the half-hour mark. Abdallah stepping inside Hampson. Abdallah goes for goal. And it's well fielded by White. Again, Hume City threaten. Again, they put another effort on target, but again, it's not quite enough to beat the goalkeeper. Oh, Ashcroft jumped straight into Salmon there, and the referees waved it away. I think that one will go down as a miss for Lockie Keevers. Maybe Salmon was trying to milk it by not challenging for the ball. Be a generous interpretation. Galevsky off the shoulder. Just about stays onside. Dandenong City, or Dandenong Thunder 2, Moreland City 1 at George Andrews. Spoon up in the air. McGill, Salmon battling for it. Maricic stepping in to win the header. Then Boyce. Hands it into touch. It's pretty aerially dominant Oakleigh backline now with Hampson and Boyce as the fullbacks. Both players who can comfortably play centre half in a pinch. Boyce, probably a natural central defender. Weir. Asking a lot of his brother, who can only knock it into the building site. Boyce. Valentini. Galevsky. To the feet of Abdallah. Carlson. Back to Abdallah. Okay, now Ashcroft stepping in and unleashing the strike. Maybe a more patient approach would have been preferable. But the space did open up for him, Harry Ashcroft. Hume City are known for scoring spectacular goals. I don't think Harry Ashcroft is the most likely player to contribute in that regard, but you never know. Salmon. Valentini always a yard or two the wrong side. Isgrove. Muscled out of it by Valentini. McGill. Went down with that injury complaint earlier. Seems to have run it off. Hampson. In for Guest. Hampson again, bombing forward from left back. Finding Kasumovic. Now Wellsmore with the goal in his sights. Scuffs the effort. It's a straightforward enough stop for Michael Weir. Well, big news for both these teams. Heidelberg United have taken the lead against Dandenong City. One more goal and they will leapfrog both Hume and Oakleigh into third position on the table. That's a good ball, looking for Galevsky. Big chance. Brandon White gathers comfortably. Josh Galevsky almost put it straight down his throat. And now Michael Weir flirting with the edge of his box. Salmon with a fruitless appeal. That was a lovely ball from Isgrove to find Galevsky there. Absolutely spectacular passing range. On the half turn as well, if you don't mind. Hampson making the spectators flinch. It's Sabit Nior who scored for Heidelberg, by the way. He is in incredible nick. What a mid-season signing he's been. Just cannot stop scoring. Well, this one the only scoreless fixture. Could have been Josh Galevsky's time to shine a few moments ago, but fluffed his lines and put the effort straight at the goalkeeper. Otcheng. And for Abdallah. Collision off the ball involving Valentini and Weir. Play goes on. Kalevsky sliding in. Joe Guest back to nick it off the toe of Bingham. Hampson. Kasumovic knocks it around Otcheng. And then Mark Otcheng, very physical on Kasumovic, sending him sprawling, but referee rules it as a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Weir wrestling with Valentini, and it's Valentini who gallops clear in for Joe Guest! Oakleigh hit the front. And it's Joe Guest who delivers for the Oakleigh Cannons yet again. Spectacular work from Valentini to tee him up. Slaloms past 2 challenges and squares it for his captain. And Joe Guest doing what he is famous for, putting the ball in the back of the net. And how crucial could that goal prove for Oakleigh's finals hopes? Well, it was just brilliant work from Valentini. I think Lockie Weir got too tight to him. He spun his fullback. It's too quick for Tom Maricic. And the square ball to Joe Guest was measured perfectly. Hats off to Valentini for that assist. They've been under pressure, Oakleigh, but now space is opening up everywhere. Valentini! Well, he's feeling himself now. That wasn't far away. That was dipping late. Only inches over the crossbar of Michael Weir. The confidence is flowing for Stefan Valentini. McGill. Win in midfield. Very dangerous for the Cannons. Kasumovic again doesn't get the whistle off the challenge of Otcheng. Carlson. Left it behind O'Kane, and now Hume leave themselves vulnerable to the counter-attack. Ascroft. Got tangled up with Kasumovic after he fouled him. Hume have to be careful. McGill. Slid it into Guest. Oh, Joe Guest, furious he didn't get a penalty there. Hampson. Salmon, the back heel for Hampson. Well, that was magic from Alex Salmon. How did he contort his body to get that back to Connor Hampson? Well, I have to side with the referee here at first glance. Looked like Joe Guest initiated the contact and was looking for that one. No, the defenders played the ball first anyway, never a penalty. Wellsmore, straight into the hands of Weir. Oh, it's blocked, a clearance, and Salmon has an open net. But Joe Guest ruled to have interfered with the release, and he cops a yellow card as well. His 7th booking of the campaign. It matters little now, as long as he can avoid a second yellow today. He won't miss a game through suspension. Well, Well, the temperature's gone up a notch here. Avondale have netted a second against Port Melbourne. So as things stand, they've got second spot wrapped up. Heidelberg chasing a second goal against Dandy City, which they need. Hampson holding off Abdallah. Hampson galloping through. Abdallah got a piece of the ankle. Oakleigh want a booking. I think Oakleigh have a case this time. It's never a penalty a few moments ago. Got the Oakleigh side and Joe Guest all worked up, but it did seem as if Abdallah should have pulled out of that challenge and was stopping an attacking opportunity. So Amir Abdallah perhaps fortunate to avoid a yellow card. Wellsmore, little hesitation on the free kick. Now Tratt heads across goal. Salmon! Placed to perfection. 15 league goals for Alex Salmon. Oh, and now Hume City appealing to the linesman. It looks like the goal is going to stand. Maybe a shout for offside there. But Alex Salmon showing off his penalty box instincts. They've made him one of the most lethal strikers in the NPL Victoria era. With 2 minutes up on the board for stoppages. Hume City, who had all the early running in this game, had the best chances until Oakleigh took the lead. Now sink to 5th place on the table as things stand. And face a trip to Olympic Village. And Oakleigh are cruising their way to a home elimination final as Valentini gets some cheeky shooting practice in after the whistle. Well, Salmon, so often the thorn in the side of Hume City. That's 3 goals in his last 3 appearances against Hume. What a return. 1 minute to play in this first half. Which has been a contentious one at times. Kasumovic. Knocks it down the line, Ascroft. It's going to be Hume ball. A counter-attack and a set piece. That's just Oakleigh to a T. Doing the simple things so effectively. Wellsmore. The perfect delivery off that cross. Tratt heads across goal. And at least from the broadcast angle, he does look onside. Difficult to tell from here, of course. It looks like Hume have got nothing to complain about but their own set-piece defending. Lockie Keevers brings the first half to a close. And it's the home side, Oakleigh Cannons, who are cruising to a home final next week. As things stand, they will play Dandenong City, and Hume will face an imposing trip to Heidelberg at Olympic Village, where Heidelberg's record is oh so strong. So goal difference comes into play now, as Heidelberg draw level on points with Hume on the live ladder. We'll take a short break here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Josh Parrish with you behind the mic on this dramatic final day in NPL Victoria. Goals from Joe Guest and Alex Salmon, the star duo up top for the Oakleigh Cannons, have made it Oakleigh 2, Hume City 0 at the break. Oakleigh Cannons 2, Hume City 0, coming back from the break at Jack Edwards Reserve. And Oakleigh have 1 foot in third place, which means as things stands, they will play Dandenong City here next week, and Heidelberg will host Hume City at Olympic Village, assuming that result holds in the other game. Big task on for David Chick and his team. No apparent changes at the break. Back underway here. Josh Parrish with you behind the mic. Jack Edwards. There's Alex Salmon, who broke the deadlock for Oakleigh after they absorbed quite a bit of pressure. A couple of big chances, one falling to Josh Golevsky after a pinpoint ball from Lloyd Isgrove found him too close to Brendan White, and Oakleigh punished Hume off a counter-attack and a set piece. Alex Salmon netting the second after the header across goal from Jacob Tratt teed him up. Even a draw would do it for Hume. That way, Heidelberg would have to score another goal to leapfrog them. And that would mean Hume would host, have the crucial home advantage next week in the elimination final. Of course, if Heidelberg score a second, all that is mute, and Hume will need to win to avoid finishing fifth. Kasumovic brought down by Carlson. Free kick in shooting range for the Cannons. Give you some scores from around the grounds. Altona Magic 3, Manningham United 2. Bit of an end of season kickabout shootout over at Paisley Park, with Manningham already relegated. Dandenong Thunder 3, Moreland City 1. Melbourne Knights giving Ivan Franic a winning send-off as things stand. 2-0 up against Green Gully over at Keilor Downs. Here comes the free kick. Will it be Salmon or Guest? It's Alex Salmon to strike, and it took the fingertips of Michael Weir to tip it over the crossbar. It was a thumping hit from the Englishman. Didn't take on the wall, shot past it instead. And that was bound for the top corner, but for Michael Weir's terrific stop. Wellsmore on set piece duty again. Weir comes out to claim confidently and gets the restart going quickly. Hume can't afford to sit back on their laurels now. They have to go for this game with all they can muster. Ochieng. Isgrove. Lloyd Isgrove looking for Bingham. Tratt in the way. The header falls for O'Kane. And now the cross from Golevsky. Isgrove connecting at the back post, but didn't strike it cleanly. Well, round out an update from around the grounds. Port Melbourne 0, Avondale 2. A Kerr double as Avondale in the box seat for second spot. South Melbourne 1, St Albans 1. South Melbourne have already wrapped up the minor premiership, and St Albans safe from relegation. And over at Olympic Village, crucially for both these sides, Subit and your goal as Heidelberg 1-0 up over Dandenong City, which has The Burgers sitting in 4th position as it stands. Point ahead of Hume City. Valentini, lovely take out of the sky. Oakleigh, Kasumovic pounces on the loose ball. Kasumovic goes over. Penalty. And now Oakleigh have the chance to make it 3. Well, Josh Bingham leads the protests. Crucially, Mark Oakleigh has avoided a booking that would see him suspended for next week. But this could bury the game. And it's Alex Salmon with a chance to net his 2nd of the afternoon and his 4th goal in 3 games against Hume City. Michael Weir stands in his way. Salmon scores! And Oakleigh are in cruise control. Terrific finish from Alex Salmon. Michael Weir went the right way, but he found the side netting. And now the mountain for Hume City to climb gets ever steeper. Bingham. Given away, Valentini. Hume City dominated the shot count in the first half, but Oakleigh have been clinical. It's that ruthless edge. It's been the difference. Lloyd Isgrove clipping the heels of Jacob Tratt there, who cannily wins that free kick. Isgrove would have been away. So barring a Dandenong City equaliser or a miracle Hume comeback, it looks as if Hume will finish 5th on the table and face a very difficult trip to Olympic Village next week. While Oakleigh will host Dandenong City. Not an easy fixture for them, mind. They did lose here against Dandenong City a month or so ago. Wellsmore telegraphed his intentions. Weir. Raking switch, looking for Isgrove. Hampson. Back to Tratt. Free header for Ascroft. Bingham. O'Kane. Wellsmore's challenge. And now McGill. Finding Kasumovic, who won the penalty, and he's won a free kick here. Lockie Keever's keeping his cards in his pocket again. Well, there was no real question about the penalty. Kasumovic had the beating of Oakleigh. Mark Oakleigh had a little nibble at his ankles, and he went over. Always a spot kick. Valentini's header. Oh, I was looking for a touch-off guess, but nestles in the hands of Michael Weir instead. Boyce. Bingham's flick. Galevsky. I wonder whether Hume will think about a more physical presence up front and bring on Mikael Platt later in the contest. Galevsky has had chances, mind, but he seems he'll cut out for the physical battle against those 2 hulking Oakleigh centre-halves. More of a midfielder by trade. Boyce. Wellsmore. Guest. Tratz gave it away to Watcheng, who couldn't make it stick and concedes the throw. Salmon, slow ball, is cut out by Ashcroft. Falls for Hampson. Swerve and dip on the cross. Maricic dealt with it well. Hampson with another chance. Combines with Salmon, who let it run, and then Carlson wins out. Isgrove. That robbed off his toe by Wellsmore. Tried to do too much there, Lloyd Isgrove. But the ball does break for Hume, and Otcheng sends it into space. Jacob Trapp winning the foot race. O'Kane picks up his own rebound. O'Kane cuts it back. Galevsky. Well, they could have made more of that, Hume City. You score one and you never know. O'Kane got a lucky deflection that came back to him. Cut back for Galevsky, who's had the best chances for Hume today, and he couldn't dig out the shot. They just struggled for a bit of cut and thrust in the final third, Hume today. Had the chances. And Valentini is straight offside. Valentini thought it was his throw. It's going to be Hume's ball. (4-2) to Altona Magic now over at Paisley Park. Scores remaining the same everywhere else. Jordan Hall copped a high boot off Bingham. The game will be brought to a halt for treatment, but not for a foul. It's now the time that Oakleigh think about making some changes to keep their star men fresh. We know Guest has been battling those injury issues. He's had his minutes somewhat curtailed of late. Valentini having a quick word with the lino after that offside call. Seemed good-natured enough. Ashcroft. Arrows one into Isgrove. Clean challenge from Boyce. And it had to be. Valentini. Did Carlson get a piece of him? Abdallah. Barely had a sniff in this second half. Failed to find Bingham. Salmon helped it on. Ashcroft's. Now Otcheng cannons the ball against McGilp. Maricic hangs it high. Galevsky Paul had an arm around, but Golewski was probably backing into him. O'Kane tried to slide it through for Abdallah, but Connor Hampson was alive to the danger. Misconnection with Salmon up top. Ascroft. Isgrove. Sidesteps Brodie Boyce. Lloyd Isgrove still going. Isgrove! That's special. Another one to add to the Lloyd Isgrove highlight reel. And maybe a glimmer of hope for Hume City here. He did it all on his own. Charging, slaloming through the Oakleigh defence. No one could lay a challenge. And Lloyd Isgrove picked out the bottom corner, passed it in to give Hume City a lifeline in their race, their chase for a home final. Well, Hume sorely needed that. Will it make a difference in the final analysis, though? They're still a long way back. Ascroft. Ochieng. Maricic for Weir. Bingham, duel with Hall, and then back to Isgrove. Isgrove for Golewski. Lovely first touch, but he couldn't keep it off Connor Hampson. O'Kane doubling back to rob Joe Guest of possession. Abdallah. Bingham's drifted wide. Thinks about the overlap for Weir. Has to go back to Carlson. Carlson. Hume City bench appealing for a foul. And then Brodie Boyce sliding in ahead of Lockie Weir. And now Oakleigh can break. Valentini. Guest measures the return ball. Valentini tried to sidestep Carlson, but no way through. Weir. Well, Brendan White flirting with the edge of his box. Was that a handball? Well, too difficult to tell from here. It was certainly close. Half a shout from Amir Abdallah. McGill gave it away to Ochieng. Maricic. Great challenge from McGill. And now Oakleigh have the numbers. Valentini tees it up for Salmon. And Harry Ascroft had to make that challenge. O'Kane for Weir. Plenty of drama still to come in this one as Hume City throw everything they can forward. Bingham. On to Abdallah. Checking inside, Amir Abdallah. Boyce with the header. McGill. Weir was slightly late. And then he went over under the challenge of Boyce. Little shove in the back, and Hume City have the free kick. Still Heidelberg 1, Dandenong City 0 at Olympic Village. Scoreline doesn't do Hume any favours as things stand, but if they can somehow draw themselves back level in this contest, they will leapfrog Heidelberg on goal difference. Isgrove over the free kick. 4 to aim for in the box. O'Kane arriving late. A bit of friendly fire against Maricic. And it's a comfortable enough stop for Brendan White. Doesn't look as sure-footed as Nick Feely has this year. See that he's still shaking off the rust. Carlson, Abdallah. Well done by Guest to tee up Kasumovic. There was contact on Otcheng. Maybe Kasumovic stepping into that one. Guest threads it down the line. It's back off Hampson and behind for a goal kick. Well, Lloyd Isgrove's goal has given Hume City renewed vigour here. But Oakleigh defending a lead. One of the most adept teams in the competition at sitting back, waiting for a mistake and pouncing in transition. So they've got their work cut out for them here. Ashcrofts. Otcheng, oh, he fell over the ball. Kept it alive for Carlson. To pass it while he was still on the deck there, Otcheng. Avoided a bit of slapstick comedy. O'Kane steps past Kasumovic. O'Kane with a bit of momentum here. Around Wellsmore, Bingham. Referee says Boyce played the ball. O'Kane galloping through. Oh. Oh, a powerful strike. Too close to Brendan White. And it's well collected by the goalkeeper. Josh O'Kane has only scored once in the league this season. It was quite a run from midfield. Not once, but twice in the same move. Isgrove. Standing up Valentini. Quick ball over the top for Bingham. Measures it onto his chest. Boyce stepping in as the second defender. Valentini kept it well. Oh, Guest with the outside of the boot forces Michael Weir to play sweeper keeper. And the Oakleigh GM, Archie Jonas, playing ball boy. Getting it back for the quick throw. Valentini. Oh, he slipped over and he handballed it. Stefan Valentini sees the funny side. I think he really expected a free kick for that. Boyce. Oh, big contest. Fairly done by both sides of the equation. Kasumovic finding Wellsmore. Oakleigh could polish it off here. Wellsmore for Salmon. Sends Wellsmore a bit wide. Hampson spoons it up to the back post. And Lockie Weir will clear. Boyce wins the aerial duel. McGill. Valentini 1v1 here again. Weir staying with him all the way and winning the goal kick. Very good defending that time. Valentini's been terrific today, especially that assist for the opening goal, but he's starting to run out of gas. It's in a bad way towards the end of the Doherty Cup final, extra time. In fact, wasn't on the list for the shootout. Oakleigh had to withdraw one player from penalty contention because South Melbourne were down to 10 men with Max Mikkel's red card, and Valentini was that player. He's done well to back up last week and this week. Awkward back pass for Trapp to deal with. Hooks it over his own head. Anywhere will do. McGill holding off Carlson. And Carlson had a hold on Cam McGill. Quickly taken. As Croft has the beating of Salmon. Oakleigh ball. Hampson's throw. Avondale 3-0 up against Port Melbourne, and that one looks done and dusted. So Avondale will finish second in the league, barring a miracle comeback. South Melbourne have taken the lead against St Albans. Guessed Kasumovic was offside. Still Heidelberg 1, Dandenong City 0 in the match that matters most to both these two teams, aside from the one in front of us, of course. Christian Trajewski has scored for Avondale after a Kerr double, so Trajewski continues his streak after scoring in the draw with South Melbourne last week. Isgrove. McGill. Boyce cuts it in for Gast. Valentini would have been offside. Of course, both these sides keen to avoid a meeting with Heidelberg in the finals. Oakleigh will have to play them in the Australia Cup anyway. That game's coming up on Wednesday, the 28th of August, at the home of the Matildas. Well done by Gillespie to hold off his man, Abdallah. They need more from Abdallah here, Hume. Isgrove. Abdallah had a few moments in the first half. He's just not been in the game in the second. Boyce. Valentini. Valentini inside. Maricic behind. Tona Magic 5, Manningham United 2. Over at Paisley Park. Manningham going out in a blaze of goals, as they have all year. Dandenong Thunder 3, Moreland City 2. Over at George Andrews, I should say. Low delivery. Harrowed in towards Tratz. Got something on it, but not enough. Oh, and a big collision with the goalkeeper here. Valentini has taken out Michael Weir. Well, he came out of nowhere, Valentini. And Hume City understandably unimpressed. The yellow card is already out. Yellow card for Stefan Valentini. Michael Platt has come on for Hume. Hume thought the card should have been a darker shade. Have another look at the incident. Bizarre one. Stefan Valentini can count himself pretty lucky. There was no reason for him to make contact with Weir. Came from behind him, almost jumped on top of him. Absolutely bizarre. The red card would mean he'd miss next week's elimination final at least, so very, very fortunate. Amir Abdallah has come off for Hume here. So Josh Golevsky has gone to the right, and Abdallah, who's been virtually anonymous in this second half. He's been so good this year, but a really disappointing afternoon for him. And Platt will provide a bit more physical threat up top. Ashcroft.
I'm scattered there, sorry.
Hot Chiang. Salmon. Kasumovic. Has the pace to beat Ashcroft. Valentini was waiting for it. And Michael Weir-Gavis. Valentini thinks twice about stepping in front of Michael Weir again. Pumped long towards Mikael Platz. And Connor Hampson gets his body in the way to win the free kick. Moreland City have come from behind. Dandenong Thunder 3, Moreland City 3. Of course, not huge stakes involved in that game, but Moreland City will still have to go out with a creditable result to finishing with the wooden spoon this season. Kasumovic. Chiang. Platz. Holding off Tratt. Did Tratt have a hold on Platt there? Mikael Platt spun him anyway. Oh, and couldn't find a teammate. Like a little bit of a shirt pull earlier in the piece. Oakleigh come the other way. Kasumovic. Ashcroft stood his grounds. And it's a Hume ball. And Heidelberg have scored a second. And that's bad news for Hume City, because even if they score twice to level the game here, Heidelberg will still finish above them in the table. So now only a win will do, which looks ever more unlikely. Valentini, no flag. Valentini blazes it wide. Well, he looked offside when he got possession, but looks can be deceiving. Look at that one. Maybe Ashcroft stepping up a little late there. That was pretty tight. Oh, and a long-range effort comes in and flies wide. An adventurous strike. Almost caught Michael Weir out of position. Pierce Waring's preparing to come on for Oakleigh. Tratt knocks it away. Weir. Lockie Weir with a great tackle on Valentini. Isgrove lining up the goal in his sights. And Brandon White well anticipated. Board comes up for the change. Pierce Waring preparing to come on. As the afternoon sun beats down on Jack Edwards' reserve. It's Sean Ellis who scored for Heidelberg to make it 2-0. And Mikael Platt, I think, just taking off the undershirt. It's heating up out there. Got an injury issue, which enables the Hume players to go to the bench and rehydrate. Hume have filed some more paperwork, so it looks like David Chick will be preparing another substitution. It's Connor Hampson with the injury issue. And the young attacker Obieze is going to come on to replace Josh O'Kane. Whereas Pierce Waring will come on for Asad Kasumovic. Kasumovic has done his job today. He won a penalty, in which Alex Salmon scored Oakleigh's third goal. Looks like Connor Hampson will run off that knock. 8 minutes to play. Looks as if Hume City's finals destiny is confirmed, and they'll have to take a tough trip to Olympic Village. Does Mikael Platt have something to say about that? Riding the challenge of Jacob Tratz. Waring. Hampson. Too wide for McGill. Long throw from Hume comes to nothing. Salmon. Layoff was behind Pierce Waring. Moreland City going out in a blaze of glory. Now 5-3 up away to Dandenong Thunder, would you believe, after being 3-1 down. Eastgrove.
Holding the ball.
Helped onto Valentini. Maricic stepping in. Boyce heads up the line. Umut Bozduan is preparing to come on for Hume City. Well worked by Boyce. Joe Guests was looking for Pierce Waring there, but it was always Michael Weir's ball. Bingham. Hampson. Carlson. So Obiora Eze. Eastgrove. To the feet of Platts. And almost rebounded back to Lloyd Eastgrove. He's doing everything he can. Scored that special solo goal, but looks like it'll be nothing but a consolation today for Hume City, barring a very rapid turnaround in the final few moments. Maricic heads back to Valentini. Martini goes to ground. Very hopeful. Weir. Isgrove. Oh, McGill retreating, and it's a bad foul. Heavy challenge from McGill. He'll stay out of the book. Isgrove was looking for Eze. Boyce in the way, and then David Schick on the edge of his penalty area. Having a few words with Lockie Keevers. Now the board's up. Umut Bozdogan. It's going to come on for Oscar Carlson. So they've replaced both their central midfielders now, Hume City. New runners, new reinforcements in there. Much younger duo. Bozdogan has been in the first team picture for a few years now. Herbie Eze, just 19 years of age. Valentini rises highest. Maricic stepping in. Eze couldn't get there. Long throw from Boyce. Valentini. Good challenge from Weir, but it comes back to McGill. Boyce. McGill. And then he had an extra nibble there. Brody Boyce. Groans of frustration from the Oakleigh dugout, but will be a free kick. Lockie Weir goes back to his brother between the sticks. Sprays the switch out towards Golevsky, who kept it alive. Only for Jacob Tratt, though. Waring, twisting and turning. Goes back to Wellsmore. Salmon. Oh, McGilp's given it away. Bozdogan. Mikael Platt almost teed it up for himself. But Jacob Tratt covering his central defensive part. Eze. Has to turn past McGilp in a congested area. Manages to keep it. The young playmaker. Golevsky. Mikael Platt, great strength to hold off his marker. And he was in late to the challenge. Not enough contact there for the referee to award it. Hume ball. Tona have gone up 6-2 against Manningham now. Eze. Melbourne Knights going to finish with a win. 3-0 over Green Gully. They finished just 2 points outside. Oh, Isgrove kept it alive and smashed it across the box, but Brendan White was in the way. I was saying Knights finishing just 2 points outside the finals places. That loss to Dandenong Thunder on Monday night put an end to their finals prospects under player coach Ivan Franic. Valentini is onside here. Could he ice the game for Oakleigh? He tried to cut it back for Salmon, who was on a hat-trick, but left it short. Ochieng. Bingham. It's like Platt lost it in the sun there. Boyce had no one to pass to. Double change incoming for Oakleigh. Noah Holmes is going to come on. And Jacob Eliopoulos. Still working his way back from serious injury issues. In steps Lockie Weir. Weir into space for Isgrove. That was Alex Salmon tracking back. That's what you want from your star centre forward. Eze just got tangled up there against McGill. And that double change incoming now for Oakleigh. Joe Guest will finally be withdrawn in the 90th minute. And Cam McGill will get a rest as well, if only to take some time off the clock. On comes Noah Holmes and Jacob Eliopoulos into midfield and defence respectively. Perhaps Eliopoulos will play in midfield. We'll wait and see. Yeah, Eliopoulos going to play as a holding mid by the looks of things. A central defender. Switch to a 4-3-3. Valentini. Eliopoulos will be pretty conservative here and just play in front of the back four. Not long to play. Oakleigh will face Dandenong City here at Jack Edwards next week in the elimination final. Hume City face that tough away trip to Heidelberg. Header flashed away. Valentini with 2 bites at the cherry. Struck it firmly both times, but it came off a teammate. Eze. Bingham. Looks it over the top. And Minibatis is going to get a couple of minutes to finish the fixture here. We're up the line. Isgrove. Wellsmore winning it back. Holmes. Boyce. Boyce shapes the ball into the box. Rebound spills for Noah Holmes. Waring. Pierce Waring from a narrow angle. Drifts across goal and behind. And there's that final change for Oakleigh. And it's Steph Valentini who's going to go straight to the bench. He can count his lucky stars. He was given only a yellow card for that incident. The earlier coming together with the goalkeeper was very unnecessary, so the madness and the genius of Stefan Valentini on display here in equal measure today. Michael Weir. Bosdegan sees his pass charge down, and in comes Salmon, who wants a hat-trick. Alex Salmon, agonisingly runs out of play on him. Well done by Bosdegan to recover. Check of the watch from Lockie Keevers. Final whistle imminent. Even Minibatis didn't have the pace to get there. Avondale have scored a 4th against Port Melbourne, so they've got a week off to put their feet up and wait to see which of these sides comes through to face them in a semi-final. South Melbourne have already wrapped up top of the league. Holmes, nicely measured ball. Minibatis, the flag goes up late. And there it is. Oakleigh Cannons wrap up 3rd place in the league. Joe Guest with the opener and 2 for Alex Salmon. A spectacular solo effort from Lloyd Isgrove was simply not enough for Hume City today and proves merely a consolation as Heidelberg score a third against Dandenong City to leapfrog Hume into fourth position. So that means, once again, Oakleigh will host Dandenong City here next week in a do-or-die elimination final, while Hume City will travel to Olympic Village to face Heidelberg. Avondale and South Melbourne await the winners of those ties. But on the final day here of the regular season in NPL Victoria, it's been a pleasure to have your company. I've been Josh Parrish, and the final score at Jack Edwards Reserve, Oakleigh celebrate. It's Oakleigh Cannons 3, Hume City 1.